Alright, so 2 minute Tanya tidbit for today. So we're in the middle of explaining the idea that a person can't really judge somebody else. You have no clue what he's going through. And it could be that he's struggling a lot more than you in every field that he goes through. And it's not an excuse for him, but you need to be able to see this person and think to yourself, are you actually serving God to your greatest capabilities? And that's what Adar A said yesterday. You have to think that when it comes to the time of davening, are you actually investing everything that you are the same way he is? Because if you're not fully putting in all the energy that you have, then why do you think that you're any better than this person? His challenges are much greater than you. And therefore, even if you're putting in the energy to be able to daven properly, and you're really davening the way you're supposed to, but it could be that it's still nothing close to that challenge that person has, because his soul, his yitzhar, is burning so strong to be able to desire these improper things, and he's struggling with that, and he's falling through sometimes, but he has much greater challenges than what you have. And therefore, when it comes to learning Torah, are you really putting in everything that you have? And so too when it comes to benching, after Birkat HaMazon, after you eat something, you have to be able to focus with a full kavanah, full intent, realizing who you're speaking to, and so too the other blessings which you say to God. Realize that you're focusing, you're talking to God. You should say the blessing with real kavanah, and every other mitzvah as well, of course, doing mitzvahs with the proper intention. You should do a mitzvah with the full energy that you have and properly know the understanding of what you're doing, and everything else that you have. When it comes to learning Torah, are you really investing yourself fully and throwing yourself into learning Torah to be able to understand the Torah to the greatest way possible, putting in as much time as you actually can, and even more than that, being able to learn more than you're naturally used to? Because even if you're only learning a little bit more than what you're used to, even though it's a small war and you are fighting something for that, that's only a small war to learn a little bit more. This person is putting in a huge battle every day. So you are having a small war, which is an important thing, but he's struggling so much more than you. So therefore you have to constantly be able to judge yourself and see that you're able to continue growing and serving God in the greatest way possible. Whether it's in the field of not staying away from evil, or it's in the field of doing good. They're both the same thing. They're both God's command. So just like you see that person falling through with things which are improper, if you decide to yourself that I want to start growing in things which are good, to be able to do more things, it's also the same idea. It's also a big struggle. So you should invest in yourself to be able to start serving God in a much greater way, both in the staying away from bad and in growing in good things, in order to be able to fully live up to yourself, to be able to fully struggle and fight and serve God the way that's actually demanded of you. And the same is true about all the other mitzvahs, and especially when it comes to the idea of money matters and the money mitzvahs, like the mitzvah of tzedakah. You need to fully invest yourself fully to serve God in the greatest way that you can possible. End of today's Tanya. See you next time.